everybody, Mike Steele here with Barbecue Champs Academy Live, and we have got a great show lined up for you tonight. Hogs for the Cause is everything we're going to be talking about. Such a great organization down in New Orleans, Louisiana. Such a big, massive competition they got going on. I think they had 70 teams last year cooking hogs. Man, it's going to be a great show. We're going to have our guest on here in a minute. In the meantime, we got y'all. We appreciate y'all being here. We got our co-host, Mr. Lee Hickle, Mr. Aaron Leslie. How you guys doing today?
We're doing pretty good, man.
Beautiful Tuesday.
That's
man.
good. That's good,
I
man.
love it.
That's good.
It's a great day.
Yeah, man. We're having some super nice weather down here in Louisiana, other than the dang pollen that's just won't give up for nothing. But man, we get a little more rain coming in this week. Hopefully, it'll knock the rest of this stuff down. So, hey, Bobby, what's going on, man? Come on, man. Man, I'm just kidding. Bobby strolls down to Groesbeck last weekend and bangs that chicken out like he always does. The guy's a beast when it comes to chicken. Right. Appreciate you being with us tonight, Bobby. Chance, thank you for joining us. Alan, appreciate you being with us, brother, from Wichita, Kansas. Man, that's awesome. Mr. John up there in the frozen tundra. It's not so frozen right now, Wisconsin. And Samuel, we appreciate you being with us. Going to have a great show lined up, man. We're going to be talking about Hogs for the Cause. If you've never been, I hear it is one incredibly fun event. And I have never got a chance to cook it because I've always got to cook off. It's like 80 miles from the house.
Right.
And it's just too hard for me to miss the Risk It for the Brisket competition over in the little small town of Gilmer, Texas. And I love that they love my stuff over there. So
that is a great cook-off. I wish I could make it, but I can't.
Yeah.
Dadgummit, my first one I'm missing in a long time. That's a fun cook-off.
It's fun.
I like to DJ it, play the music. The crowd's good.
Yep.
Just a great time.
It is a good time, no doubt. So, Kyle, glad you're joining us tonight. Mr. Aaron, what you been up to, brother?
Just working.
Man, you sound tired.
I am tired. Man, I've been in that sausage room all day, and I'm just wore out.
Man, I tell you what now, that literally is a grind. Grinding all the – that's a – I couldn't resist that one.
Literally.
I mean, it literally is, man. I mean, it's
really
just like,
grind.
Is there ever a chance I'm going to get done? And then you get done with it, and less than a week later, you're making another 400 pounds of sausage. Like, oh, my gosh.
It is crazy because it's like yesterday, on Mondays, you do your deliveries on your stores, and you go check your inventories everywhere, because there's 13 stores I stock out here just in Midland, Odessa.
Right. And
so you try to get that done, then Monday afternoon, it's a late night because you're trying to get all that stuff prepped up, and Tuesday morning right back to it. So
right.
It's just you're on your feet all day in a room that's 40 degrees, no matter if it's cold outside or if it's hot outside, which is a perk, to be honest. But 9 hours inside of a 40-degree room just kind of wears on you after a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on,
absolutely.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, man, we got B&B Charcoal in the house. What's up, guys? Man, this is awesome. Appreciate y'all being here. I know they're a huge part of the Hogs for the Cause down in New Orleans. Not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, April 3rd, 4th, I think is when it is. So that first weekend in April, man, if y'all have any opportunity to get down there, go to it. They say this place is an absolute fun time. And a lot of hog cookers. Right. I think they had 60, 70 teams last year. We're going to bring James on here in a minute, and Nakia, and they'll certainly be able to tell us about that. Emmeline, thank you for joining us tonight. And let's see what we got.
Emmeline's got a big cook-off coming up also.
Oh, yeah.
She's got her world-renowned Marietta, what is it called? River Cook in Marietta, Ohio. I forget what it's called, but Emmeline puts on a big cook-off. So good luck.
Yeah. Good luck
on that
one, that's for sure. So, got Mr. James is in the back. James, sit tight, brother. You're looking good on camera, so I can see it. Turn your camera up just a little bit so it don't cut the top of your head off, James. Just a little adjustment. Go up a little bit more. There you go. You're good right there. We got him in the frame, so he's good. Mr. Jason White, thank you for joining us. Got the homegrown barbecue in the house. Mr. Christopher, thank you for joining us as well, man. So, yeah, this is going to be a good show. We got James, got Nakia, and then James got a special guest that we're going to be coming in here in just a little bit. I think they're part of the Hogs for the Cause deal. James will explain all that in a little bit. Man, going to be a great show. Hey, let's kick it on off. We got about 30 folks on here right now. We got more folks coming in. Mr. Stephen, we appreciate you being here. We got Mr. Saul. Thank you, Saul, for joining us. Yeah.
Look at Saul. Isn't he traveling right now? He's all over the country. It looks like traveling around doing something. Saul's always driving around somewhere.
Yeah, Saul, man. We're ready for bobsledding. We're ready for the hogs. Let's see who else we got. Mr. Jason Pettis. Thank you, Jason, for joining us.
And Jason White, can you overnight some boudin to Pennsylvania for me by this weekend?
No, you ain't getting it because I tried to get some. I tried to get some brought to Dadgum Bow Bridge, and he didn't even have time. So Jason,
I'm doing a big event. I'm doing a big event this weekend up in Pennsylvania, so I need some boudin for sure.
There you go, Jason. If you can do it, let us know, brother. Laughing out loud.
Yeah,
he's just gonna laugh out of that and not it. He's gonna laugh out of that so he don't have to make it. That's what that is. Oh, goodness, Gabe, we appreciate you being with us here as well. Man, I'll tell you what, let's kick this bad boy off. We got quite a few folks on here. Mr. Travis is with us as well. Man, Travis has been really, really sick, got some really, really bad pneumonia down in his lungs, and they about killed him and made a pincushion out of him. It's slow recovery, but he is mending and getting better. And, Travis, you're in our prayers, brother. Hope you continue getting better, man, because he was really, really, really sick. So he says he's still out. You don't have any. So, all right, we got Karen with us tonight. Mr. Jason White boudin class coming soon to Barbecue Champ. Man, you know what? That would probably be a good class to have. That's for sure.
Oh, no, I mean, I might give him a run for his money. My brisket.
Yeah, there you go. I will be making some next week. Well, you let me know when you get it made because you're going to be bringing me some to Marksville. So. All right. Well, now then, for the third time, let's get our guest in here. First of all, we got Mr. James Cruz. This is a world champion. He is the pit master of Fire and Spice. What's going on, Mr. James? I hope you can hear us.
I can hear you guys. I've got. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Everything.
Although with this phone sideways, the camera's over here.
That's all right.
I'm gonna be looking like this the whole time.
That's all right. You just look straight. Just look straight. You are doing good, man. Glad to have you with us.
Well,
I know you're.
I'm here in the patio of one of our sponsors, the beautiful patio of Kitchen Table Cafe. They're about to bring me a burger and fries, so y'all get to watch me chow down tonight.
There you go. Well, we appreciate you being with us. I know you've got a really good team that you have put together. You have done incredibly well. Hogs for the Cause, if you don't know it, it is an amazing organization that raises money for children with pediatric brain cancer. It is a really, really, really great event. And James has assembled a pretty killer team that he's put together for this. We're going to go into a little detail. Next, we're going to bring one of his teammates and a good friend of ours and a great cook as well, Mr. Nakia White. And he's going to be joining Mr. James. Man, Nakia, hey, brother, we appreciate you being here, man.
Thanks so much for having me.
That's good. Let's see if we can get these frames just a touch bigger. There we go. Anyway, so I don't know, man. It seems like this thing gets bigger and bigger every year. I know last year, wasn't it between 60 and 70 hog cookers that was there last year?
Well, there's 96 teams total. Not every team is required to cook a hog. I mean, we can go into more detail later, but basically there's 4 main cooking categories. It's hog, pork, ribs, and then pork puree, which is any category where pork's a main component. And they do that because you have to cook in at least 3 to qualify for grand. So you always cook 4 because what if you bomb in one, that one gets dropped. Okay, right. So it doesn't hurt you.
Right.
But not everybody has the equipment to cook a whole hog. So probably out of 96, there's probably at least 60 something, maybe 70 hog cooks. Wow. I mean, everybody's doing ribs and
right.
things like that. So
yeah. Well, I know it's a great event. I know that B&B Charcoal is a huge part of that. We definitely want to thank all of our partners. We always do this, kicking off our show. Gunnar Wilhelm Nyes, Mr. David, y'all continue to keep him in your prayers. He's battling cancer as well. B&B Charcoal, man, we're so grateful for them. You got 4 of the people on here tonight are a part of the team B&B, myself, Lee, Nakia, and James. Thank you guys for what y'all do for the barbecue industry and the community as well. Also, Miss Gail down at Daigle Barbecue Sauces. And she's got some great glazes as well. And Raider Red Meats, if you guys are looking for any kind of Prairie Fresh products, primes, they've carried the prime ribs and the prime pork butts. And I think she told me they're also carrying some of the naturals as well. So call Kirsten at Raider Red Meats. I tell you what, you start to get 60, 70 hog cookers together at one time. That's a lot of teams. I'm assuming that's got to be up there kind of close to what Memphis in May is doing. And
it's triple what Memphis May does.
Triple in May. I figured it had to be bigger than them. I don't know about the Big Pig jig. Have you ever got a chance to cook the Big Pig jig?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've cooked hog all over the country. That's one that's on my bucket list. I haven't done.
Yeah, I know Robbie has always cooked that one and done well, and I think it's a pretty good bit of hog cookers there as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, tell us a little bit about Hogs for the Cause and what goes on with that. Let's talk a little bit about your team, how you put together, and everything else.
All right. So first and foremost, Hogs for the Cause is a charity first, barbecue competition second. Like I said, I've got a great team of guys who have won world championships, have won grand championships all over the country. But at the same time, every one of us under 110 is on a team. There's no egos there. No one. Previous wars don't even matter. We're all there to try to raise money for these kids that are battling pediatric brain cancer.
Right.
And by doing that, a lot of us will do fundraisers throughout the year. You guys follow me on social media. I just did, my annual pulled pork sandwich fundraiser at a local grocery store. And all that helps raise money for these kids. The event itself raised $4.3 million last year. And that's everybody's efforts of raising money throughout the year at the event itself, private donations through our rally bound links, things like that. And then, but once we're there, though, look, we're all barbecue guys. It is MBN judged. It's a MBN special event. So if you're not familiar with that format, it could be a little tough for you because certain textures and stuff. But again, you got ribs. You have pork, you have whole hog, and then pork brie is a really unique category where people get really chefy with it. With that being said, you've got 96 teams, and it's capped at 96 every year. There's a wait list just to get in. So you see a lot of these teams have now just stacked teams. You got some super cooks all on one team. I mean, I'll go ahead and say my team is one of them. I mean,
right.
I'm not gonna just say, hey, we got this one guy. I've got 12 guys in my competition team group text right now.
Wow.
And every one of them has won at least a grand championship somewhere.
Right. Right.
But at the same time, I mean, our biggest thing is this. Look, a couple years ago, I decided to start delegating categories because these guys are coming in to help me out. And this charity is very special to me. It's personal to me because cancer runs in my family.
Right.
And then the other side of it too is, everybody says once you become a parent, you start thinking outside the box, other than buying them a toy and playing with it. It's what if this hits home for me? I've got a 5.5-year-old.
Right.
And, it's just one of those things where, my son Carter, and then for you Hogs followers, my other son, Andrew Shuford, on the grounds out there. It's a joke. Calls me daddy. So with that being said, what's really unique about this competition is that every team also vents to the public. So
right.
My team has about 30 members on it where, Lee and Aaron, you guys cook by yourself all the time. You might have one or two other people helping you. You've got 30 people on this team. I got 12 competition guys all in the back of the house. Now, look, I've got 2 people on ribs. Me and Charles Dabbs are on hog. I got 2 people on pork brie. I let everybody kind of just get involved in the way. And then I have front of house, which is friends and family plus social media influencers. I've got people like Michael Starr and TFTI Barbecue coming up from California to kind of help out with that. Plus, there's a whole list of ancillaries. Now, ancillaries at Hogs, you better bring your chef skills because
right.
you're in New Orleans. You're not out. No discredit to like the Midwest,
right?
But you better bring some flavor and some skill if you come to compete in New Orleans when you got a lot of chefed up categories.
Right.
With that being said, my front of house, I've got people like Friday night is bacon and wing night. They provide bacon and wings, and you create dishes you sell to the public because every dollar you sell at the POS up front goes to the kids. So anybody who's been to a regular contest, there's typically nothing there for the public. Even something like a Memphis May or the Royal, it's if you don't know the team, the rodeo, right. You're not getting in. You're just walking around and you're going to eat a corn dog at a food trailer.
Right.
This is the best food festival in New Orleans, which is the food capital of the world.
Oh, absolutely.
You got 96 teams full of just skilled cooks. All, a lot of these guys don't compete throughout the year, so this is their showcase. They're going to go all out and give you the best possible festival food that's cooked off of a smoker or a grill or a fryer or whatever.
Right.
And like I said, every dollar goes there. We have an event goal this year of $5 million raised. Our team personal goal is $50,000.
Wow.
We're a pretty good bit away from there. But still with a week and a half left. But yeah, I mean the only way we're gonna ever get to 50,000 is by the help of like our followers on social media, the businesses we know, we're personal friends, like friends and family, things like that. Mike, I probably should have sent you my QR code or something like that. You could post it up here for anybody. wants to donate $1, it doesn't matter. There's no minimum, no maximum for donations. And if you can afford $5, dude, donate it. It's going to help somebody out. Right. If you can donate 10 grand, send it.
Right.
It help us reach our goal. And now here's the other side of it too. One reason why we really work hard to raise money, first and foremost, they said it goes to the kids. It helps them and their families alleviate some stress, like financial burdens, right? Because there's not a dollar in the world that cures cancer.
Right.
But when you relieve stress on that, it's a happier home. It's you heal faster, things like that. Hogs take some of this money and they write out grants all year long to kids and families that need it. On top of that, they also, like, you can put it right there. On top of that, they also build hogs houses, kind of like the St. Jude's and stuff like that do. But these guys are building like high-end, nice units where if you need to come to New Orleans to Children's Hospital and receive treatment with you and your family and your kids, they put you in this thing at zero cost to you. I mean, it's like 13, 15 unit complexes that you go there and relax. They got kitchens there. They got full on all the amenities you need. And there's one in New Orleans. There's one in Baton Rouge. I think they're building one in Charleston. I want to say they just built their third one. We might even have a fourth one coming up.
Right.
And as far as the competition side, we've all, pat ourselves on the back and beat our chest on some of these trophies we've won before. Everything from a 10th place chicken in somebody's backyard to walking the stage at a world championship. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Here, that all doesn't matter. We all want to win an award on stage. And it is the coolest award you'll find anywhere in the country. You got about 30,000 people attend this event. There's two music stages.
You got 30,000 people that attend this?
Yes, 30,000.
Okay.
It's huge.
All right, I want you to pick up on the stage, but I've got one other question, and we're going to go over to the stage.
Yep.
How much anybody can come into? Is there an entry fee? Do you have to pay to get in the park?
Yes, there is. So
okay.
There's general admission pass. So Friday night pass is $50. Saturday is $70, or you buy a weekend pass for $99.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, you get in, you pay for food, but there's also two music stage with headline acts like Zach Top. They went heavy country this year. He's headlining one of the stages. So with that being said, when you get to awards, some of the public is gone, but you can ask any one of these guys. I mean, I got my iPad up here. Any one of the guys that's been on my team has been there. Y'all come in and tell these guys what the awards are like. There's nothing like it. There's at least 10,000 people at awards, drinking, partying. There's double, triple decker booths. You can go stand on top of them and take videos of the awards. And then when you walk the stage, you got 10,000 people in that crowd, and there's music and lights flashing and everything. It's a party on stage. They try to tell you the whole, like Memphis and May 12-man limit on stage. No, there's teams of 50 people walking on a stage. The stage is rocking. Wow. Champagne flying everywhere. And with that being said, one of the awards, I'm going to get to this in a second, is, remember I said they count 3 of your 4 main categories, right? So the fourth, your low score gets dropped. Your other 3 account for 90% of your score for Grand Champ. So you got 30, 30, and 30 on your meat categories. The other 10% fundraising.
Okay.
The perfect score in fundraising used to be 20,000. Now they raised it to 50,000 for these teams, and it's scaled down. So if you get 50,000, you get like 600 points. I think is a perfect score, and then it goes down, right?
Right.
So obviously, if we don't raise a lot of money, we better do what we need to do on the meats as well.
Right.
But to me, the most impressive part about the awards is when you start hearing the fundraising dollars. And look, again, we've all seen, you and I and every one of us walk some kind of stage somewhere. But when you start sitting back and it's like, all right, the fundraising award, and you sit back and you look at some of the dollars these people have raised, and like these guys, some of these guys have never competed in their life. They compete in hogs once a year.
Right. But
they're out there busting it and asking everybody they can to donate $1. And you start seeing the amount of money raised and stuff like that. And then I've had the privilege of walking the stage a couple times as a fundraiser, and that was bigger to me than any other. You know, I'm not going to go rattle off my resume there, but I'm a 3-time grand champ and a couple time reserve, and I won a bunch of firsts. All that doesn't matter. Right, when I walk the stage as a fundraiser, basically I got a perfect score on fundraiser. You're up there, they hand you a bottle of champagne, and you're up there with some of these other guys looking left and right. They did the right thing. They raised money. They don't care about cooking a perfect rib.
Right.
And then you start seeing the fundraising champion raising over $500,000, and that money's going to kids. It really hits you. It kind of makes you break down like what the reason why you're really there. And then one more thing, as far as the probably the biggest, most impactful, emotional part of Hogs for the Cause is the Cooks meeting. Again, this is unlike anything you've ever experienced at a Cooks meeting. Usually Cooks meetings are in and out 15 minutes to an hour, depends on the event, right?
Right.
This one here, you have Melzy Wilson, who used to run judge in Memphis and May. She's up there, and look, she's a ball of fun. The Zandy, Renee, and Becker, the guys who run Hogs, they're up there. They give their bid, and they're fun, right? And there's just these big ice tubs full of beer. They want you to bring your entire family. But what gets you though is when they usually get one of the grant recipient families, and they hand the microphone to one of the parents, and one of the kids are up there. And look, I don't care how well of a speaker, how articulate you are. When you're talking about your kid going through this, you can't, like, I don't even know what to say now, but I'll tell you this, maybe 3 years ago, in 22, 3 years ago, this is a Cooks meeting I'll never forget. They go through the whole Cooks meeting and everything, and finally they hand it to this dad, and the little girl was Kaylee. She was sitting in a wheelchair, emotionless. She couldn't speak, couldn't do anything. Her dad, not a professional speaker, you just hand him a mic, unscripted, and he just pours from his heart what he's had to go through in the last 6 months. He said 6 months prior to that, she was a 6-year-old little girl, singing, dancing, smiling, cut I'm joking. And now she's sitting there, battling something that's terminal.
Right.
And when I tell you, I don't care how big you are, I don't care if you're John Wheeler or Robert Smith, dude, you needed a tissue. It was. I mean, it's kind of getting me now, but
right.
But
just
when
the emotion,
dude,
emotions of it, yeah.
There's nothing like it. She passed away probably a couple months after. But it's one of those things where I've always told people, I don't care what event you're going to, schedule Hogs at least once. Come be part of our team. Come sit down, hang out with us, do whatever you can, but try to contribute, try to help.
Right.
And then look.
All that fight goes on every year. There's always a child today and tomorrow.
That's right. Yeah, it doesn't end. I mean, this is something that's just continuous for these children with this, brain cancer and stuff. And you're talking about, supporting, helping. Look, guys, this is an unbelievable cause. This is children that are fighting pediatric brain cancer. I just dropped the website up there on the page. I'm going to drop it in the comments as well. And if you click that link, it'll take you directly over to it. And James, when they go to the page, I mean, obviously, Fire and Spice, they can go in, they can find you on Fire and Spice.
Actually, no. I'm gonna do it a little easier. Well, I'm gonna do it.
I emailed you a link, Mike, if you have access while you're online. I don't know how connected you are.
No, if you go to the one you posted, that's gonna bring you to the general site, and then you have to do some digging. Look, I don't mind if one of my teammates wants to post their rally bound in the comments, donate to them. It doesn't matter. Our team gets credit. That person gets individual credit for raising money. So I don't care. It's just anybody on my team that's in the comments.
Nakia White just did it, so I'm going to drop Nakia's in there. So there's the link.
Y'all did it to Nakia's page.
Yeah, there you go. So if anybody wants to help out, and like he said, guys, look, y'all all have money to go get you a coffee, a latte, a pack of smokes, a beer, whatever. I mean, if you can donate $5, if you can donate $10, whatever you can donate, any money is better than no money because it's for a great cause. So I just dropped the link in the chat. All you have to do is click that. That'll take you directly over to Nakia. Nakia is one of our guests here.
Yep. And look, I'll tell you this before I go. I'm not leaving, but I mean, let Nakia give his experience on it. About my team. I'm gonna tell you who's on my team in no particular order. It's just the competition cooks. I'm not gonna name all 30-something friends and family members as well, but like I said, I've got myself, I got Mark Lambert, I got Charles Dabbs, Nakia, Jason White, Saul Dupuy, Josh Michelli, Brandy Hosh. Who am I missing? No, that's only 8 right there. We got Michael Starr, we've got TFTI Barbecue, Tony Ramirez, and then Rob Fleming, got him as well. I think that's 11. And I'm not missing anybody, Nakia.
Sweetie, is he helping, or is he on another?
No,
team?
I don't know. It's so many names.
Okay.
He's on another team.
One big great family underneath one tent.
Yeah.
Hoping to survive all the way through Sunday. It really is a good weekend, though.
Wow. Yeah,
it's the only contest that I go to knowing the whole time that we're working for something, and it doesn't have anything to do with the awards or grand champ. It has to do with
the kids.
Yeah. The only award ceremony that I'll go to 2 hours in advance, which is crazy in itself, because there's so many different groups of people, right? So each team has, 50, 60, 70 friends and family.
Right.
And you just to be within 100 yards of the stage is good seating out there. It gets pretty concerty, if you will, right?
Right. Yeah,
mm-hmm. Purple drink.
Yeah, guys, look, there's plenty of links. I just posted. You've got Nakia's got his page that he just posted. We got Saul Dupree. All the money these guys are all on James's team, so it really doesn't matter. The money's all going to that team for them because, like he said, they get points for, how much money they can raise. So if you can donate $1, $5, $10, $20, $100, donate something because this is for an absolutely amazing cause. So,
James, is the cook-off Friday, Saturday, and the awards on Sunday?
No. So it's Friday, Saturday. Ancillary, you have a couple turn-ins on Friday, which I believe are wings and bacon because it's wings and bacon night. And then Saturday, you have your 4 main categories. There's also sauce. There's the blue plate mayo category.
Oh, wow.
But what you're not turning mayo is you turn it in a dish. You can turn it in a chocolate cake made with mayo. Whatever you want to create, it's the blue plate mayo is the component. Right. The wing category, you have to use one of the Tabasco products. Okay. What else do we have, Nakia? Do you remember? We got sauce, wings, bacon. We have the bacon dish. Mayo. I believe that's it because I think there's 8 total. Yeah, because then you got the 4 main. Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. So I'm assuming Nakia's going to cook the wings.
He is.
Yeah, that's the wing killer right there, guys. I mean, he's a world champion at Memphis and May in wings. So
if you got to be good at something, it's loving my wife and cooking wings. That's about it.
There you go. That's it. Hey, if anybody has any questions, about any of the stuff that's going on at Hogs For The Cause, more information about it, drop us a chat. We really want to try to get our listeners involved. We got quite a few folks on here tonight.
Yeah, and we got Zandy coming, who's the CFO of Hogs, and he'll go into more detail about the impact of what Hogs is all about. And I can't wait for him to come on. Yeah, he should be on in the next few minutes.
Yeah. So he's the CFO of Hogs For The Cause. He's supposed to be. His name is Zandy.
Zandy Reinhold.
Pop in. As soon as he pops in, we'll see him in the green room and we'll bring him on. So, but I mean,
hey, can I throw you a couple of talking points regarding B&B?
Go ahead.
Yes.
So I got to try. I come to this meeting prepared today. I just want you to know, this isn't my normal MO.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and got some notes for everybody, and look, I wrote them down so I don't mess them up.
There you go.
I just found out, thanks to James, by the way, and all the hard work he does, promoting B&B charcoal. B&B charcoal actually is the official charcoal for Hogs For The Cause, which is pretty special. Go ahead and leave that unmuted there, James. That's perfect.
Yeah, that was mayo, by the way.
Nasty bastard. But B&B charcoal is the official charcoal, which is pretty neat, right? So
yes, it is.
They were interested in working with and talking with Daniel and Miss Angela at B&B or Duraflame, and they ended up picking up that deal. When that came out, Daniel and Angela and a couple others got together, and they said that they're promoting a win big and give back big special sweepstakes at Hogs. And yes, I am reading, so I got
go ahead.
My teleprompter. So one lucky winner is going to have $1,000 donated to their team ticket, right? So right now, anybody who donates underneath my ticket or James or Rob or Charles is going to go underneath Fire and Spice.
Right.
One person underneath another, under anybody's team is picked randomly, is going to have $1,000 added to that donation to help with the pediatric brain cancer. Now, the rules are simple. B&B is actually going to be out there, so I'll be out there working with Fire and Spice, but Keita and Angela and several others are going to be there. And you're going to have your picture taken at the B&B photo booth and then tag, maybe Mike, you can put this in for me, but tag at BB Charcoal. And every person that posts is going to go into some sort of random drawing. And at the end, one person is going to win $1,000 for their team, just added funds, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, they've already brought out charcoal. They're coming out themselves,
Right.
That's pretty cool.
They really want. Sorry, James.
No, go ahead. I was
cool.
piggybacking off of you.
Yeah, so there was a lot of things that they've been doing, and some of them, when you're out and about, take pictures of when you're cooking in the backyard, right? If you're by the pool, we're getting down to cooking weather. You can tag Walmart. You can buy your charcoal at Walmart's now, which is pretty cool. ASOS always, Academy Sports, which is really good. The old Heb/HEB is how you actually say it. Yeah. But the old Heb has some. Okay. But there's stores all around the country that you can buy B&B charcoal from. And if you just tag us, we really would appreciate it.
Okay, yep, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, I thought it was a pretty cool deal, and that's one reason why I was talking to Mike about this whole thing. Is obviously the focus it's our annual Hogs for the Cause show, and
right.
And then I want to bring so myself, you, and Nakia, the three B&B guys here from Louisiana. We represent the best charcoal on the planet, and obviously Nakia just said it's now the official charcoal of one of the biggest and probably most impactful barbecue contests in the country.
Right.
So we're all gonna be doing stuff in there. If you guys follow all of us on social media, we're gonna be doing a lot of content, a lot of live stuff. Any one of my 12 competition guys are all gonna be there just playing around on the grills, even just our regular stuff, not just competition stuff.
Right.
We've got another official product of Hogs for the Cause as well. A company called WC Bradley, which owns Pit Boss, Charbroil, Oklahoma Joe, and Louisiana Grills. They're now the official grill lineup of Hogs for the Cause as well. So they're one of our sponsors too. So Pit Boss now being the world leader in pellet smoker manufacturing, they're one of our affiliates on our team. So it kind of shows, what this contest means to a lot of people, that everybody wants to get involved in any way possible. You got some of the biggest companies in the world want to sponsor our little old team, you know, and it's, our biggest goal is, look, we want to win grand champion, right? But we also want to hit that $50,000. We want to hit a $70,000,
Right.
Screw 50. Let's go to 70, 100. It's a lot of teams are doing it, so that's what we need to do. And I appreciate you guys having us on here. And
absolutely.
So whenever Zandy gets on, he's a really cool guy. And me and him have a little bit of a backstory. I don't know if we have time to say it today, but it's kind of cool. But this is my 11th year at Hogs, and it is hands down my favorite barbecue contest in the country. If someone said you have to pick this one, Memphis May,
this one,
I don't mean to be too confident here, but I already got the title. I'm cooking hogs.
Right.
So
that's cool.
Right.
It's something you have to be at one day.
All right. So Little Gringo's got who judges this? Is this
MBN
judges?
Yes, I'll tell you, it's a combination, right? It's MBN sanctions. So for people who don't know, MBN, its endpoint is just MBN. You win any contest, any sanction contest in the country. You go to Royal, you have a bug for the Jack, blah blah blah. MBN, there is no endpoint for that. With MBN special contest, you have a mix of judges, because in MBN contest, they're all trained MBN and Memphis May style judges. Okay, well, Memphis May kind of being the end of the year show or middle of the year show for MBN, because all the MBN cooks go to Memphis May. With that being said, a special contest, you have a lot of trained MBN judges. Melzy Wilson runs judging, but they also sell tickets to raise money for judging as well. So like Lee, let's say you want to go there, you want to be a judge, you pay like $100, and you get a good sit at the table with these judges, and your score counts. And then you have your celebrity judges, all your TV chefs and stuff who come in town for it, your local chefs come in town.
Right.
And there's all kind of packages. I mean, dude, even Thursday night when we're all setting up, that's the official Hogs for the Cause steak night. Right. Cisco provides hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds of just steak.
And that tin is pretty impressive.
Dude, that is cool as hell, because there's no plates, no utensil, there's paper on tables. These guys are like Santa Maria Grill just flipping it. No one's there. You will not see a round SCA Easter egg looking steak. You're going to see untrimmed, charred up steak, and they slice it and just throw it on the table. You go by and eat it, and all the drinks you want to on Thursday. That's the Thursday night steak party. It's actually cool.
Yeah, so anyway, cool. Let's bring in the man now. We've been waiting on it. He's been backstage. I've been trying to get a chance, Mr. Zandy. Thank you, brother. He's part of Hogs for the Cause. You're the CFO of Hogs for the Cause. Did I get that wrong or right?
I'm not exactly. In a barbecue competition, you would think that would be the chief fire officer. And unfortunately, really have any staff to fire, so we just have plenty of fires out at Hogs to deal with. But
that's awesome,
both literal and physical fires. So
that's good.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we appreciate it. I've got everybody lined up, and I'm glad you popped something up because where your block was, I don't see it. So when I saw the private, I don't know how long you've been there, and I was like, man, he said 7:30, and I couldn't see the block, and I saw your private chat, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's down below everybody. So anyway, well, James has been doing pretty good, telling us a lot about Hogs for the Cause and everything else, from how the event is run and the money that is raised and stuff like that. Why don't you just kind of give us a little bit insight of what you do and that part of the Hogs for the Cause as well?
Absolutely. I've been here long enough to hear James mention that he won Memphis in May once. So I'm guessing that he's probably said it 3 or 4 times. And I'm guessing that all of you have all heard it, I don't know, 150 times. But he's the most humble man in barbecue, and we love him at home. He's a great supporter.
17 times, Zandy.
17 times. That's hilarious.
James and I do have a great backstory, and I'm going to give it to you guys quickly because at one point in my life before I got into the pediatric brain cancer / festival.
Oh, Zandy fell asleep.
Competitive barbecue. Okay. And one day somebody had given me this little terrible Brinkman like Walmart smoker, and I said, I can't cook on this thing. I'm not pros like you guys. Every time I opened the door, all the smoke would disappear, and it was just horrible. So I put it on Craigslist, and who rings my doorbell one day but James Cruz? And he proceeded to tell me about how he's the only competition pitmaster in all of South Louisiana. And I said, oh, that's great. We're having a little barbecue competition called Hogs for the Cause next weekend. You should come out and cook. And he kind of laughed. And the next weekend he said, hey, can I come cook that? I said, I'm sorry, man, we're already full. But the next year, James joined us in the pitmaster lineup, and James had one heck of a run there, almost won back-to-back grand champions, came really close.
Zandy, he doesn't need help.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, our competition has built over time. And I think last year, and James, you can back me up here, I think we had something like 15 Memphis in May, like 15 different Memphis in May grand champions cooking at Hogs.
We had at least 15 world champions at some level there cooking last year.
Didn't Brad Laniger and
Tim
Laniger and Tim's been there,
yeah, they won it. They won it last year.
Wheelers,
they won it last year.
Mark.
Yeah.
Did we forget to say James Cruz was there?
Yeah, we're gonna leave him.
Well, James already has
do I need to put him in timeout while maybe I need to put him in timeout while he's eating his hamburger because he's making us all hungry. So
it's keeping me quiet.
Wow.
Well, now look, it's been awesome. I'll say this: James was a great ambassador for me and my partners in introducing us to a lot of the competition barbecue world. The other big ambassador that we have is Brian the Beeve Campbell, who really, from Ubon's Barbecue, who really kind of introduced us to everyone really early on. And you guys were talking about judging earlier. It's a great story. One year we said, we need to go to Memphis in May, and we kind of need to see what they're doing, which is so special. Because we knew we'd never mimic Memphis in May, but we every festival you learn something that you can do better. And we got on a flight in New Orleans, direct flight to Memphis. And I mean, that's like a super quick flight, like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And my partner, Renee Luop, who does all of our festival ops, was seated next to a lady on the plane, and it turned out to be Melzy Wilson. And they just struck up a conversation, and she said, I love New Orleans and I love Memphis, and I'm big in the judging. And at the time, this was Hogs 3, we were doing all the judging ourselves, which that was about as dangerous as James being the CFO of Hogs.
I'm a numbers guy.
Yeah.
And so Melzy said, look, I'd love to bring my team, and come help you guys out. And so James is absolutely right. Melzy and Elise and Raleigh and their whole team, all the MBN crew, they all come down and do it. And what they do is, I don't know if there's enough sanctioned judges in the world to judge hogs. Judging those poor people are so out sodium by the end. I don't know how they move.
Right.
But they come in, they teach every set of judges what they're looking for, other than just taste, how to pull a rib and, what the texture and consistency should be. So it's really cool. And I mean, they run that whole side of our house now, which is great because it allows, me to sit in the back and kind of focus and make sure that the money side is working well, and my other partners to kind of do their roles. And it gives us a lot of legitimacy too, to be able to say that MBN does it. So
that is amazing. If anybody's got any questions, I mean, this is a really cool deal. If anybody's got any questions, please drop them in the comments. We'll ask the questions. I think it's a pretty cool deal. I mean, if anybody lives within a 3-hour or 4-hour drive from it, sounds like somebody needs to go to it, because it's we've been to a lot of parties, right? I was at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo here a couple of weeks ago, and that was quite a party. But the food wasn't all free. In this place here, you pay, you get in, and you can just, now once you pay, I know you said it was $70, $80, $90 to get in. Does that get you the food, or do you have to pay for all the food?
So you do have to pay for food. We encourage our teams to make their samples, the food serving small and inexpensive, because what we've found is most of our patrons want to try a lot of things.
Right.
We always laugh at teams that are like, we're going to put a whole slab of ribs. I'm like, you may sell one to like your mom, but people really just want like one rib or like one small taco. And so we encourage our teams to do like $4, $5, $6 price points so that you can come in and you don't feel like you've been gouged $20 for a barbecue sandwich.
Right. Keep it cheap.
I think we put a lot of our foods in like the little 2-ounce boat. So like Jason White will go out there, who makes some of the best pastelaia you've ever eaten, and he'll just serve it up in like a little 2-ounce boat and get
by the way,
100 servings.
He's making that pastelaia with our competition hog. It's a whole hog pastelaia.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, because you got to do something with the meat.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Zandy, tell them a little bit about what you guys have donated, and maybe a little more about the Hogs House over the years. I don't really touch on some of the real numbers yet you guys have done. It's impressive.
Yeah. So, the story of Hogs is actually really, it's kind of interesting. When we started it, we called it Hogs for the Cause, thinking that we would change the cause every year. We didn't really have any allegiance to a single cause. And right after we finished Hogs 1, there was a guy who was a chef who had a son with a brain tumor. And we knew him. He was older than us at our high school. And we kind of just saw the impact that this disease had on this family. The mom worked at the zoo, and the dad was a chef. Well, as most of y'all know, chefs have no benefits, if any benefit, or, terrible benefits if benefits, but mostly no benefits. So the mom, who worked at the Audubon Zoo in New Orleans, she kept working so she could keep her insurances, and the dad quit his job. And we kind of saw the human side of really sick kids. And what we realized was that there was a really big need in pediatric brain cancer. There was a lot of research, a lot of money being spent on leukemia, lymphoma, a little more common cancers. But brain cancer wasn't really getting the attention. And so we said, you know what, let's go with this cause for a few years and see. And what happened was we started meeting a lot of these families, and these families started introducing us to other families they knew. It was a very tight network, a kind of sad network that these people had come together this way, but it was great that they were together. And so over the past 17 years, we have been able to fulfill every legitimate grant request we've gotten. Most of our grants come through social workers at hospitals. We have a network of those around the U.S. We do get a few random grants that you can just kind of tell or phishing attempts for money, but that's how the world works, unfortunately.
Right.
But being that we were able to kind of fill that whole need, we said, all right, well, now we need to start figuring out the barbecue side had been super successful. The fundraising side had been super successful. So we said, we need to figure out how to put this money to work in more impactful ways than just brain cancer. And so our goal has always been to alleviate the financial burden on families of sick kids. And what we found was that if we're able to improve local hospitals so that families don't have to travel to the big hospitals and stay in their regions, close to their networks, close to their support systems, that's a huge financial benefit to them.
Right.
And so we have some big restaurants in Charleston, South Carolina, Atlanta, kind of that lower eastern seaboard area. Home Team Barbecue, Fox Brothers Barbecue, some big names. And they do a lot of fundraising. And we made a deal with them. We said, look, guys, you guys do the fundraising. We'll find the right projects for you in your backyard so that this impacts your networks.
Right.
And we started cutting deals like that. And it was great. And so we've done a big project in Greenville, South Carolina. We've done some big projects in Atlanta. We just announced a patient assistance house where families can go stay when their kids are being treated in St. Petersburg, Florida, outside of Tampa. I know I'm missing some. We have these Hogs houses in New Orleans and Baton Rouge, Louisiana, similar situations. But over 17 years, we've given away just about $13 million.
Wow.
And, you can imagine that in year one, we weren't raising $1 million a year.
Right. It's growing.
So it's kind of ramped up with our success, and we're extremely proud of it.
Wow. Well, man, that is a great story, and it's for a great cause. And we really, really appreciate what y'all have done. It's always great siding with the barbecue people because we always find a way of getting in there and having a lot of fun and bringing a lot of people to the parties.
Absolutely.
So, you bring people together in food, man, there's nothing like it. And you start bringing people together with a bunch of world champions cooking, it can really be on steroids. So I don't know, Aaron, Lee, it sounds like a pretty fun thing. Maybe we're going to have to go down there one day and check it out. What do you think, Aaron?
I've been asked a couple. I was asked a couple years ago. I think doesn't Joey Machado and them go down there?
Yeah.
And I think Manny and them asked me if I wanted to go 2 years ago, and we ended up having to work and I couldn't make it. So, one day I'm going to have to sign up and go check it out.
It sounds like it.
If just the top row of this podcast went down there to New Orleans, we'd have a couple more old grand champions and world champions down there, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Get a couple more.
I got a question. So some of my guys posted their links. You guys receiving any donations yet? I'm gonna put somebody on the spot here real quick.
Uh-oh.
Anybody got any donations? Zandy, since you control the Hogs checkbook here, will y'all match any donations we get tonight?
Ooh.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Well, hold on.
He's going to have to rechange his title to fire because James just got fired.
He was talking about that just a minute ago. Now he's got somebody he can fire. So, oh, goodness.
I'm just throwing it out there. No pressure,
all right.
Andy.
So, James, it looks like Nakia, is that how you say her name?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the good donation there. Trying to see who else. Then I'll make you a deal. Whoever gets, I will match on their page the first $250. So if somebody can get 200, I'll match the first 250 to whoever gets it onto their individial pages.
All right, done. All right, done. I'm fixing to do 250 from Barbecue Champs Academy.
Wait, time out. Zandy, is that for each member or just the first guy?
Wait, hold on. You froze there. I'm sorry.
All right, so
hey, is that for each member or just the first guy? Because I think I got half the team watching right now.
All right.
I'm donating to my own ticket.
All right.
Whoever puts it in first gets the match. That's what I'm doing.
There, James.
All right, I'm gonna go to Nakia's page if I can just get over there to the dang page.
It's for the kids. It's always for the kids.
So let me see how I can get over there, Nakia. All right, let me go over here.
Hey man, we try to make it as easy as possible. You know, we've had some issues with our donation site, but you're supposed to be able to click on Venmo, and all of a sudden
All
it
right,
just
Nakia White, donate.
Man,
Here we
James,
go,
on mine just shows it, dog. We just
$250.
went straight to Nakia, man.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. I'm going straight to Nakia. Charge me $270. Let me see how I can get over here. This is fixing to go. Credit card. Oh man, look at that. Give me 1 second, guys. Excuse me while I throw a little money. MICHA.
Man, I mean, maybe I need to make more
that
deals
again,
like
I
this.
can't see it.
Yeah. So yeah, you're fixing to see it. It's fixing to come in. He'll know it here in just a minute. So
like they say in that commercial, you gotta be quicker than that.
That's it. Oh gosh.
Man, let me tell you what, it's been super fun because James's crew.
Sorry, buddy. I'm
I don't know what all that background
I don't know
Mike did something. He pulled a mic out or listening to last week's video.
Y'all hear me all right?
What the heck's going on?
We're listening to Mike on top of Mike.
I'm not even talking. I don't know what that is. All right, give me 1 second. I got to pull the credit card out here.
All right, what were you saying, Zandy?
When you do that,
I
just
was
hold
saying-
it real slow so I can do a snapshot of it.
Where James's crew is in our yard has kind of become the murderer's row. It's pretty cool. You've got Marcio and the Hog Addiction team. You've got Joey Machado and that crew right there. You've got what is called Carnival, which is
so that's Boar's Night Out and Craig Carter and Shed and that's a heck of a crew.
Yeah, Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby.
So I mean, it's been fun kind of watching that. And then there's another local New Orleans pitmaster named Jason Gonzalez.
Ooh,
who,
amazing food served to the public.
He does a great job, and so they're all kind of in this one corner of the field, right when you walk in, and it's the business corner. Like there's the party corners on one side. There's the corners where guys are just like messing around, like backyard barbecuers. And then there's this one murderer's row, which they're going to have a lot of calls that weekend.
Oh yeah.
So Zandy, my compliment is this: I'm Nakia, and I'm you wouldn't know me from Adam, but I've been down there a couple of years, and I like the fact that you mentioned that you tried going to Memphis in May and looking at it and seeing what they do, because down in New Orleans it really does replicate the nice tents and some double-decker tents and some serious partying going on with the lights and everything. But at the same time, on Saturday night, everybody's in front of that stage for the main reason why they're there. Yep. See, old Daryl Walker just walked in the house.
Yeah,
Sweetie.
Daryl's here, Mr. Sweetie.
But yeah, Zandy, good job on that, y'all.
It's cool. It's been super cool. And Nakia, it's great to put a face with a name, because I see your name all the time. RV passes and donations and everything else. So it's always great to put a face with the name. Yeah, I mean, we try to hit a couple of barbecue contests every year. Obviously, Holy Smokes in Charleston, the one that home team and Swig and Swine put on. That kind of was born out of Hogs, but we try to go to Windy City. We try to look at a lot of different types of models. To just see what people like. What the one
You're doing a great job.
What's that?
You're doing a great job.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, we look at our teams as really our VIPs. The patrons are there because you guys put out a great product. And we try to add some fun music. Like we have Zach Top, who, I know that you said that you were at Houston Rodeo last weekend. I mean, Zach Top sold out the Houston Rodeo, 72,000 people. And we have Zach Top followed by Charlie Crockett on our main stage on Saturday. I mean, it's going to be a pretty crowded but epic music afternoon.
Right.
So anybody who loves barbecue and loves country music, to go that act to that act, straight into awards, it's going to be a really
there are two songs though that the entire field with any experience cannot wait to hear every year. It is Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, and then Space Hog in the Meantime. Once we hear those songs, we know these guys are coming out there in their blue jumpsuits and awards are on. It's the best awards, hands down. Second place is down here. compared to
Wow.
that. It's
That's
amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's such a good time.
Yeah, it kind of struck a heart chord last year when Mike Johnson told me that Hogs was the best awards he's ever walked. And, I know that Mike and Sugarfire have walked a lot of award stages. So, he just said, you guys are so much fun and it's for the right reasons.
Yeah.
So,
is it always the first weekend in April?
Not always. I actually think next year it may be the second, because of how Lent and spring break are falling.
Okay.
We always try to be kind of the first big spring festival in New Orleans. Yeah. So usually it's the first weekend of April or the last.
Okay. We locked up. No, he locked up.
Ain't me having
Okay,
internet problems.
There we go. Well, guys, look, we appreciate y'all being here so much. It sounds like a lot of great things are happening. Good luck to you, James and Nakia, and your entire team out there, really to all the teams. I know this is a really fun, prestigious competition, obviously, to go to. And we appreciate y'all coming on tonight and sharing a little bit about all of this. We've had a pretty good bit of listeners tonight, and I hope everybody's kind of got educated a little bit on it. And
I'll finish with one thing. And look, thank you, Zandy, for what you do for all of us being there, for putting on such a great event. But more importantly, thank you for what y'all do for these kids. It's I don't know. I mean, I can go in another 30 minutes just on the actual impact of what these guys do. It gets pretty emotional. But with that being said, we got a week and a half to start hydrating, filling your bellies. Because it's a party. It's a good time. I can say, drink a lot of water before even going to Hogs.
That's it. Well, we appreciate y'all so much for being here, and we are thankful for all of our listeners tonight. Hey, if you haven't had a chance to pull out your wallets yet and go make a donation, go back to any of the links that we've dropped in the chat. You can click it. And Nakia, I made your account just a little bit higher just a minute ago, brother. So
thank you so much. Seriously, thank you.
We appreciate y'all so much.
The match is in as well.
There you go.
I'm telling you, it's been a little slow year. I don't know what's going on. I mean, this personality doesn't get any better.
That's all right. We got it kicked off for you. All right, guys. I hope everybody's enjoyed our show tonight. We really do appreciate it. Join us next Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. Lord willing, we're going to have another show for you. We're going to be diving into some serious barbecue talk, and I hope everybody is back with us for that. I hope everybody has enjoyed our show. Gentlemen, thank y'all so much for being here tonight, and good luck, James, Nakia, all of y'all. And Zane, once again, thank you for everything that you're doing down there. And for Hogs for the Cause and all the everything that you're doing, Zandy. We really do appreciate that so much. And keep it up. Keep up the good work. And as we always say, y'all go out there, have a lot of fun, and